are going to head straight into the land of dawn for game number 1, ladies and gentlemen, between Team Liquid and GeekFam.
All right. Yeah, we are going to be seeing a pretty smooth run so far coming with TLPH. We do see karltzy, trying to make work onto his level 4 very quickly. We do see JP also ensuring that he has the bestest of time, whereas Vincent has not made any kind of moves yet. So I'm guessing once he gets his control, this is where you start to see Vincent get a little bit more active.
Again, I want to circle back to the emblem choices, right? Benny QT on the Brody. By the way, we don't see Brody too often anymore in this meta, and the fact that he went Warcry alongside with karltzy, and if you take a look at the sub-emblems, there was also Thrill. So that's a lot of additional physical attack and physical damage that they're looking for in the early portion of the game. So again, it really correlates to the fact that Team Liquid want to be able to bag this as early as possible.
Yeah, and now Vincent just got his level 4. He's looking to try and set up a gank down middle. But again, Turtle's going to be spawning in 15 seconds here. He has to make a choice. Force a fight right now, or does he go for the purple buff and then try and secure for the Turtle here? But nope, his purple buff just worn out. So that means no gank attempt is provided here. You can even see TLPH, they're all just so far back defensively that they don't really want to give them the additional XP. Whereas karltzy says, I don't care the buff. I'm going to start the turtle buff right from the get-go.
Yeah, looks like he's going straight forward, but baloyskie's there and charging.
Oh, they are going to try and make an attempt as well. Vincent going in for the steal, and yes, he gets it right at the time as well. baloyskie looking for the play. Frigiforce comes in. TLPH, they lose karltzy right from the get-go, and now another one will fall, and that is going to be baloyskie himself.
Yeah, that's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Geek, however, as Vincent was still able to grab that turtle away without his purple buff. So that does give GeekFam a little bit of leeway to play with. But what's very interesting is the fact that Team Liquid, they're not too far behind on gold. The question is, why?
Well, that's the thing, right? It comes down to how safe they kind of want to play this game here, but I still feel like GeekFam was able to scout out this by baloyskie was a good call. Sacrificing himself for a jungle kill, that kind of helps Vincent a little bit more here, because right now he is a level ahead compared to karltzy.
Oh, that's a great change. That's definitely a great change. He should have a little bit more say when it comes down to those neutral objective takes as well. So this is definitely GeekFam starting on the right foot. Right now, we also do see that, wait a second, baloyskie's charging. Is he going to go for it?
Oh no, JP is going to flicker out as well. Vincent waited for the Earth Shatter and tries to make another attempt. Unfortunately, does not get the kill. TLPH a little bit quick here to play it safe. They respect the power of what Vincent brings to the table.
For sure, he doesn't want to overextend as well from the side of Vincent, right? He knows that he's going against a Brody. A Brody does still have a little bit to work with, but wait a second.
As soon as I say this, they are going to try and make an attempt with baloyskie. He's going to try to get out as well. The dominant descent comes in. They are going to do a little bit of damage here. Frigiforce comes in as well, and Goss rejoins the fight by TLPH. They need to get JP out, and seems like he won't be able to do so. The dominant descent is able to bait out some reaction. He dies to the burst, but at the same time, someone gets gobbled up, and that is going to be one of the players coming in from GeekFam, and that's going to be our boy who gets gobbled up. And they do trade pretty even here. They lose Sanji, and look at this, Sanford, he still wants to continue his fight, and they are able to get a double kill because of it. Kadera finally joins the fight, but the damage has been done from both sides here. Both just face a very equal bloodbath.
Yeah, 2-for-3 trade in favor of Team Liquid PH, however. So GeekFam are falling a little bit behind with these trades. It looks like karltzy is still going to commit onto that Sky Piercer, despite him not having as best of an early game performance. And I'm not saying that because he's not playing properly, but I'm used to seeing karltzy on these assassins and just completely snowballing. But that also tells us that GeekFam are putting up a fight. So now both of these teams are going to be centering around the next neutral objective with that turtle. karltzy level 8, we do see that Vincent is also at the same level, so it's a 50-50. It really depends on how both of these teams want to try and implement and execute the way that they start this off. baloyskie already charging. Is he going to look for a proper moment?
Oh, baloyskie gets the Tyrant's Rage off as well, even with the final slash to secure JP's life. Dominance Descent comes in. Everyone for GeekFam is getting out of there as well. baloyskie forces a conceal play. TLPH, they want to engage this, but look at this, Goff. He goes to the back lines. He wants to try and threaten karltzy, but they force the rest of TLPH to try and stop him in his track. Our boy will be caught off by Benny QT with the flicker play, and also Gobbs falling down to the OK Shadow kill.
Oh, Vincent looks like he's going to actually pick up a trade there in the bottom side of the map, which will help them in terms of...
Always been karltzy, and for GeekFam, it's always been Kadera. But without further ado, enough stats now. We're going to be jumping into the game. Bye, Abstract. Thank you so much for your insights. as we jump straight back into the game here to see how things are unfolding, because as of now, geekfam actually, 50-50 with TLPH, even though it's 88% gold.
Right now, we do see that TLPH are looking to try and find an opening into the enemy jungle. They don't really find that setup just yet, but they are eyeing for it, right? They're looking for a way to try and shut down Vincent. They see that it's not something that they really want to commit over to. They don't want to make any mistakes at this portion of the game, as only 6 minutes have elapsed. So they're going to focus on the objectives, right? They're going to focus on this tower in the top side. JP opening up the vision, also opening up space for baloyskie, but baloyskie opens up, doesn't really find anything either.
Yeah, I like how baloyskie is taking the fact that he is looking to try and jump in for the fights. Even if he misses here, it does have a little bit of a mini stun on the Little Johnny. And then, buys him a little bit of time to reset instead of allowing Little Johnny to do so much damage here. You like that, don't you, Little Johnny? But hold that thought for now, because right now we see a fight. JP immediately gets taken out here, as geekfam now is going to be in a little bit of trouble here. We do Sanford immediately also going to be going forward as well. Vincent able to find one. karltzy able to trade one for his teammates, but they lose 3 members in the process. This extended fight coming from TLPH is not helping them at all. geekfam was able to find one more. BennyQT left alone, 1v3. Does he want to go here? I don't think he should, though.
Yeah, I don't think he's capable of it either, right? He only has the BOD up until this point. He doesn't have the Heptacies or any other items that can help elevate his damage, so he is waiting on. But that was a 3-for-2 trade in favor of geekfam as they're pushing the tempo, picking up the space, but look at JP.
Oh, JP looking to try and start the fight as well. Final slash stops BennyQT, but he's getting dived on pretty bad here. But the Tauntaun memories is going to be good enough to take baloyskie. Meanwhile, they will sacrifice JP's life in the process.
Was that a complete reset on the turtle as well? Both of these teams can't do it. They were able to kind of bait geekfam to reset it, and both of them don't get it, but it looks like Team Liquid now have the better setup. They're gonna force Aurora or a boy here to go in for the retreat, and that looks like it's a free turtle over to Team Liquid. Well, it was initially a good game for geekfam,
right?
And they turned it completely around based on macro.
That's why you have to give credit towards TLPH. They were able to buy enough time for the rest of the members to respawn back, rejoin that fight, and actually take away the objective. And because of this, TLPH is able to equalize the loss that they had just now.
Exactly. Exactly. You can never count TLPH out. They are able to outdo this with their minds, with their brains, with the intelligence that they have in the game. Concealed play, though, going to be poked up.
Oh boy, here he comes. They are going to try and dive onto Sanford as well. Sanji is able to get out to safety, but JP now in a little bit of trouble here. Primal Wrath is not going to give him a life there as Vincent gets another kill. Sanji trying to set up for the team here. karltzy joins the fight, but the Daytona Smoker will pull one. The Frigid Frost comes in. They will be able to shut him down, but Sanford needs to make a run for it, and Gobs is going to try and finish him off, and they do find 4-man out. baloyskie somehow survives. BennyQT! BennyQT is able to get almost everyone, but our boy is able to stop him in his tracks.
And that's a wiped out, ladies and gentlemen, for geekfam. Despite that play coming in through from BennyQT, geekfam still reign up top. A boy trying to force in that tower in the mid side, but they don't even get it. Team Liquid PH, they were still able to take control, was still able to clear out the waves to prevent that from happening. But either or, right? geekfam, pick up that 800k, not 800k just yet, but 800 gold lead. 800k would have been so big. 800 gold lead, and they're still holding control. Still a very 50-50 game we're watching.
Oh boy, this is kind of crazy here considering the amount of fights that has been happening here. It felt like TLPH had a little bit small victories here, but geekfam was able to catch them in the most awkward situation, and just like that, TLPH, they kind of fumbled a little bit here. They needed a play coming from BennyQT, but it just didn't really work out here, and geekfam just has so much things to worry about. And to be honest, you have to give props to Gobs, man. Like, he's been setting up so well on this Arlet.
I'm happy for that, right? I'm happy, right? A lot of people are questioning whether or not Gobs has fit into the lineup properly as Luke had before, but wait a second.
Oh no, Sanji needs to purify out of there as well. He doesn't want to use the Dominance Descent to try and extend the fight. They are in a very awkward position. Now, reset comes in for Sanji. Meanwhile, geekfam, what do they do with this reset? Because Vincent looking to try and set up a fight. They find JP once more. Frigid Force comes in, but Vincent will be the finisher. Killing spree for Vincent.
baloyskie has been popping off on this Kufra, by the way, right? Sure, he had to force that resource use with the ult and so forth, but the fact that they were able to bait out a lot of
Gobs.
things. Oh, wait a second. Gobs again.
Oh no, they missed the spell here. Sanji was able to pump to the emergency descent here, going to the back line. JP is going to fall, but our boy is actually the first one to fall thanks to karltzy, and TLPH is going to try and continue with this fight. Look at Sanji, free shots after free shots, but baloyskie from behind! He catches Sanji from behind the dominant descent, sacrificing his life to take a mage. What a catch in the midst of chaos, baloyskie. What a catch!
Yeah, and that really forces both of these teams to kind of look for a reset, but TLPH, they don't want to give up anything, right? They don't want to waste time. They're focusing on these objectives, and they're going to be able to take this first Lord, as Vincent's still going to be able to pick up his purple buff. What did I tell you about Vincent on the Fanny, right? 515 so far, has been able to bait a lot of resources out, doesn't necessarily have to deal the execution, because that's when Chidera usually comes in, and right now, Chidera, if we take a look at his items, he's on his way to that Holy Crystal, supposedly, right? Already with the Starlim Scythe, he has the Feather of Heaven as well. Meanwhile, technically, Brody should already be dishing out the damage. I think maybe that power spike came too late.
It's crazy, right? To see watch this game. Jabs after jabs, blows after blows. Look at this. geekfam, they're going to start a fight once more. They almost caught Sanji. He's going to be using Dominant Descent to keep himself alive. But again, baloyskie trying to keep them all at bay while the rest of geekfam clears off the Lord. But no, they're going to ignore the Lord and trying to commit to the fight. And they lose one instead. karltzy actually finds baloyskie, and they were able to lose a tier 2. Lord cleared. Successfully defend, only losing one member, but it's not over yet. TLPH, they still have the health, they still have Sanford, they still have BennyQT, still rather strong. This tier 3, can they defend? Yes, they can, and it will still stand for geekfam.
That was nearly a big problem for geekfam, honestly, right? Because BennyQT, other than the BOD that he already also has the Malefic Roar, so he's dishing out that damage even on the turrets as well, and that was nearly a big problem. I mean, luckily geekfam, they were still able to come back from this, and yes, okay, now Chidera has Holy Crystal. So these team fights are going to get a lot more interesting. That damage from Chidera is definitely ramping up. And the fact that Vincent has been so great weaving in and weaving out of these team fights, baiting in these resources, dealing that initial damage for Chidera to ultimately take, it might be different this time.
Oh, JP now, with the Earth Shadow, is going to buy a little bit more time. They are going to try to commit to this fight. They lose Chidera right from the get-go. That's huge for them as well. Dominant Descent is able to find one more. Sanford finds baloyskie, and geekfam, they made a mistake. They crumbled too hard. They thought they were able to turn the tides, but it is TLPH that catches them with their pants down now, with Vincent trying to buy a little bit more time, trying to clear the minions, but they just could not do so. This tier 3 is guaranteed to fall, and TLPH is marching in. Vincent, what can you do right now? They need so much more.
2 members in the face of 5 TLPH members. But it looks like TLPH this time around, they don't want to overcommit. They don't want to overtake and overstay their welcome. They're going to stay disciplined and they're going to retreat. This does give geekfam a little bit more time to come back and reset from everything that has happened. And it looks like Vincent is going to be able to get a trade down bottom. He's pushing in that bottom side, hoping to get that turret. But TLPH, they should see this. Or it could be utilized as a bait, as they're both going to be setting up for that Lord.
Well, it seems to me karltzy, he is in prime position to actually kind of stop Vincent, but now my question is who's going to win this? Because now Vincent is going to try and make an attempt. karltzy sidesteps his way through, but he's down towards 1 HP. The turret is doing a lot of damage here. Okay, Shenuka, we can see it. And karltzy outplays Vincent. Fanny versus Hayabusa. Who wins? It's the Hayabusa, baby.
It's karltzy. It's the GOAT. It is his veterancy as well as his experience against Vincent. And that was a beautiful display of skill and mechanic. So well accustomed, so cold-headed, level-headed to make that play happen, and that is going to be a free Lord for TLPH in the 14th minute of the game.
Oh my goodness, karltzy's got so cold, man. He's got ice in his veins, even with 1 HP. He did not panic. He baited him out. He just completely shut Vincent out. What an outplay. What a player.
Absolutely, because karltzy, bro.
Oh boy, we are going to be jumping back into game once more here. We had a little bit of hype moment between Vincent and karltzy, but let's see whether or not if geekfam still holds on for game number 3, because game 2 seems like with the Lord crashing in, geekfam is going to have a lot of troubles.
Oh, wait a second. Vincent, what is he doing there in the backside? He does put some damage over onto the Zas, but we'll see what happens as, look at this, it looks like they're going to be able to clear.
Oh no, did Sanji's a little bit far off as well. He doesn't have the health. They don't really want to take the risk here. They are going to give the Lord away to geekfam to kind of defend against this. So geekfam, they are able to hold on even longer now.
Yeah, they're not committing. Just off of Vincent's play.
Wow.
Right? Vincent went into the back line, dealt damage on it to Sanji. He didn't want to take the risk. He went in for a recall. And it seems like the call that they made at that point with one member down as compared to geekfam at full 5 was, you know what, let's just go back, reset, let's deal some damage, a little bit of damage onto the turrets, but let's not overcommit for this one.
Oh boy. Now, TLPH is slowly hitting their late power spike, right? We talk about Barat as well as Zas. Pretty weak in the later stage of the game here, and geekfam, they do have the tools to deal with this here. And look at this, little Johnny just barely melted in a couple of skills right there by geekfam. And now, here with Daytona's welcome, you know, save Sanford holding it in. He is going to cancel it away, and geekfam just playing the macro game a little bit smarter right now.
Yeah, let's talk about the way that things have been panning out over the past few seconds, right? In these long-drawn exchanges between Geek and Team Liquid, with the fact that geekfam has a lot more, I would say, range with the Aurora, a lot more poke with Aurora as well, it looks like Team Liquid aren't in a position to be able to do this, right? A lot of the members from Team Liquid PH will get really low and then they have to go for a full reset, so they can't properly set up for these team fights as we usually see when Team Liquid go for a very quick decision.
Yeah, and that's the thing about understanding their power spikes and their timings, right? Like TLPH is finally reached a power spike where they're supposed to be very, very weak, much weaker in the later stage of the game, and they're trying to capitalize on mistakes that geekfam will make. And so far, not gonna lie, geekfam has made some mistakes, and I think TLPH is banging on the fact that geekfam will make those kind of mistakes once more.
Yeah, they're looking for it at this point, right? Because now, as we enter the 18th minute of the game, these death timers are going to
us work with what we've got. But, you know, I'm gonna dip out and say bye because now is the time for them to act.
Thank you so much, Abstract, as we get straight back into the game. 17 minutes, almost 18 have elapsed, and both teams are going to do the infamous Lord Push. Wait, is that Thunderbelt on Betty QT, by the way?
Yes.
Thunderbelt Brody?
Yeah, it is Thunderbelt on him. But at the same time, Sanji just died out of nowhere, and now TLPH, they are going to be forcing a fight as well. Okay, Shadow Kill comes in, but it's not going to be enough here. Vincent looking to try to finish off the members coming in from TLBH in one fell swoop. JP is going to be the POI here. He's trying to go for Earth Shatter, trying to back out of this fight, but he will be able to get out. geekfam, can they finish him off? Yes, they can. They find JP on the sides. Meanwhile, Sanford is going to run the other direction here. He's down on pretty low, but he is going to die here with double kill for Kadera. And now he gets another one. And in less than 10 seconds, geekfam able to almost get a full wipeout on TLPH.
What happened?
No idea. Sanji.
What?
Sanji was the first to die.
geekfam completely turned the tables, ladies and gentlemen, in minute number 19. 4 members taken down with the price of 1. And now geekfam with that space, with that momentum, they are going to be able to get this neutral objective take uncontested. And this is the Lord, an enhanced Lord at that. Is this a evolved Lord at this point?
Yeah, it
That's
is.
going to be pushing in favor of geekfam. Team Liquid completely let go of the reins in game number 2.
It is going to be huge here coming from geekfam. This is what they exactly need to kind of push out the lanes, because so far TLPH, they have been dominating every single thing, and now we finally get a first glimpse of the items here.
It looks like that the Brody actually did go for Thunderbelt. I think he recognizes the fact that he is so vulnerable against the damage coming through from the side of geekfam, whether it be from Vincent or from Chidera. He haven't actually built in an Athena shield, so there's a lot of respect coming through, but that is in sacrifice of his damage. So do not expect these crazy plays coming in from Benny QT. The damage is not quite there. Perhaps they're banking on the fact of karltzy and Sanji. Maybe that's where the damage is coming from.
Well, he sold his shoes for the Athena shield, so I guess it's just, boy, you know, going to be very, very oppressive. But he needs to be a little bit careful here. karltzy tries to get a little bit sneaky here. Can he get the 1v1 against Vincent? But there are minions here, and Vincent doesn't have the purple buff, but looks like he's going to try to make an attempt now. Here he comes. Okay, Shadow Q comes in, and he gets the kill! Sky Piercer wins the game. Vincent first to fall for TLPH, and now geekfam has no choice. Do they want to push this Lord here? But it seems like they won't be satisfied with just the tier 3 down bottom.
You know, the saying goes like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Yeah, shame on you, Vincent, for thinking for the second time that you can outplay the GOAT. Wow.
And wait, what? Huh? Sanford? Winter Crown? Okay.
I mean, he saw a boy maybe.
No,
was
he
a
saw
trigger?
baloyskie, coming in. He thought he was gonna hit him, but baloyskie was actually out of range to hit him.
I mean, technically, baloyskie's at 2-7-12 has the flicker as well, so he's been able to find a lot of moments. They're just respecting that, but it is a good resource wasted for sure.
Yep. But TLPH now going to be continuing their aggression here. Vincent is going to be back in 5 seconds. So they are going to deny the purple buff away from Vincent once more as they continue to find the mistakes, I guess.
karltzy gonna look for that play. And it goes back to that reset, right? The reset that we know and love. I think the fact is, when we get to the point where they go in for these objective takes again, as they group in 5v5, they have to be careful of two things, especially against geekfam, right? One, Vincent is going to be able to utilize that far lane, which Team Liquid PH doesn't have the inhibitor turret for, by the way, so it should be naturally be pushing in favor of geekfam. They have to be careful of that. They have to be careful of the fact that Vincent can do this, right? Split push, get in those side lanes. You don't do housekeeping. Be careful of side pushes coming through. And they also have to be very aware of baloyskie and his positioning. But wait a second.
Oh, middle lane here. They do find Gobs here. Winter Crown comes in trying to extend the fight, but he needs to flicker out as well. Frigid Frost has been used, but meanwhile, TLPH Sanford, they catch baloyskie. They go for the Rose Welcome, try to isolate the fight, but Vincent, they find Sanji at the expense on his own life, but the rest of geekfam, they're getting so low. Look at this, karltzy is doing so much work here to try and finish off the rest of the members here. Even baloyskie will fall. karltzy, double kill for him with the Sky Piercer. Geekfam loses 3 in exchange for only Sanji.
Oh no, and now Team Liquid with that space, with that build, with that momentum, they're going to be able to get this neutral objective uncontested. geekfam this time have really dropped their reins. This is going very ping-pong-esque, very tennis matchy.
Very back and
I'm
throw.
getting whiplash a bit.
It's very back and throw between both these teams here. It comes down to individual mistakes, and so far, karltzy is the most consistent of it all. He's able to find opportunities in all this chaos. But talk me through this replay here.
Yeah, we're gonna start here. I think it was a really great move there for Sanford to pick on baloyskie first. Meanwhile, right, I told you, right, every time we see Team Liquid be able to really inactivate baloyskie, that's when things kind of go south for geekfam. There was a moment where I thought that maybe Chidera would be able to outplay in that later portion of the game at the top of that team fight that was going on, but unfortunately, they didn't really go for it. They didn't want to do the commit over it. I guess they were afraid for an overstep, but I think he should have pressed the gas there, honestly.
Yeah, it is just a little bit unfortunate here, but now with this Lord coming in, I think this is like by now like the 4th Lord by this stage here. It is going to be very, very tanky. geekfam is going to try and lead up to tier 3. Sanford gets final slash up to the side, but he is going to go in for the Winter Crown. Daytona's welcome, and guess what? He survives the onslaught. They find Gobs, and just like that, geekfam, they have to go in for the reset. The Lord knocking over to the crystal as well. TLPH still holding on with their assault to try and finish things off as well. karltzy with the OK Shadow kill. He needs to get out to safety, but he cannot do so. He uses his Winter Crown, but he's not good enough. He doesn't have the shadows to get out to safety.
Whoa, what? That's a... What? karltzy gets taken out there, and they didn't have any minions. So Team Liquid, even if they wanted to go for it, they were unable to close. Once again, a successful defense by geekfam as we enter minute number 24. Ladies and gentlemen, get your snacks, get comfy in your seats, because we have got a game on our hands.
Props to our boy, man. Like, he was able to clear off the minions here, and they were able to force a mistake coming from karltzy. karltzy thought he was buying space and making time for his teammates to clear off the crystals, but guess what? Our boy and Vincent already cleared off all the minions. There was no minions to push into, and when he made that play, he just couldn't get out.
It looks like karltzy also picked up a Thunderbelt here. Why Thunderbelt for both karltzy and Benny Cutie?
I think it's more like they've gotten to a stage where this is getting a little bit too long. It's time to build out those infinite hybrid defenses.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, imagine 1,000 hybrid defense just because the game has drawn out to 30 to 40 minutes. It comes to a stage where who's tankier right now? It's no longer who does more damage, who's just able to outlast your opponent.
Okay, and then with that mindset, it's going to be interesting to see how both of these teams actually play the playing field again, right? Because technically, Vincent, again, if you're on a Ling, if you're on a Claude, if you're on something like the Fanny as well, you could definitely utilize that mobility advantage to try and look for more plays around the map. And
Well.
because the Lord is spawning on the top side, there's definitely more room for geekfam to work with. So all they need to do is play that macro style.
Well, this is going to be by far one of the longer games here in SPS, but now look at the nightmarish spawn just immediately melts here. Baloyskie in a little bit of trouble. They go in for a couple of stunts here, coming for our boy to try and stop him in the track. Baloyskie trying to catch onto his JP, but with just a couple of shots from our boy, look at this. He's just doing so much damage here with this Aurora.
And other than that, right, karltzy is also trying his best at this point, right, to push in these side lanes too. Wait a second, Cutie is down bottom. He has to focus in on that lane that I was talking about, right? With the inhibitor down on the far lane, that does give geekfam an advantage, and this gives geekfam information that Cutie is not going to be available in this next team fight. This should be the moment that they press the gas.
This is hard. This is hard. Look at how Kadera is just barely chipping the Lord right now. It's so difficult to actually hit the Lord right now, especially this late in the game. 26 minutes into the game. I don't know how tanky this Lord is. Even Kadera just barely tickling him. It's just going to be really hard here. Unless they come into this fight here. Baloyskie getting the catch on Sanford. I don't think they are want to commit to this fight as well. But guess what? Vincent will settle with the first immortality and just back out. But they drop the dominance to Sen here to try and split out the fight. Sanford catching on towards Gobs there. But the Winter Crown saves his life. Baloyskie also looking to re-engage towards the back lines. While the TLBH members is looking to just completely back out. Vincent now finally joining the fight. But the Frigid Frost from our boy will kill off Sanji, and now another one for Vincent as karltzy will fall. He gets his revenge, and geekfam is able to find 3 in one fell swoop.
Oh no, it could be more here. Baloyskie looking for that play. Cutie as well is in that bush. Okay, he does get out alive though, but it looks like Baloyskie is looking for a play onto JP as well. Look at the death timers. Every second counts. Every mistake is gonna hurt. And it feels like Team Liquid in that exchange. That was a very messy team fight.
Oh, we've got triple immortalities up on geekfam as well. And now Cutie, he got dragged out of the park here. He needs to survive. He's got the immortality, but can he get out? No, he cannot. His dead is over. geekfam ID, they might have just done it. This 28 minutes ordeal has finally concluded. It is going to be a 1-1, and geekfam bounces his back, drags this to game number 3.
I am just utterly